Hello, everybody. Welcome to another podcast show on my podcast, Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala. Today, we got a small topic today on the podcast. We gonna talk about Thursday night football between the Bengals and the Steelers. After that, we are gonna talk about the um, NBA preview of the regular season that is coming up a couple of days. Then we are gonna talk about the NFL Week 7 preview prediction that I will give at the end of the podcast. So make sure to listen to this podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and or listen to this audio podcast on my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, that my computer have an issue, so I am buying a new charger so that I can talk to on visual like I used to. Then after this, I'll post it on my YouTube channel, upload it on my YouTube channel. So it will not be that long. But first, make sure to listen to this podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or listen to this on my YouTube channel. That being said, let's go. Today, if you haven't seen me doing podcasts a couple of weeks because I had the cold, so I was very sick, and I didn't feel very good. So I needed to regain my energy for a couple of weeks. So thank God I'm okay now. So the cold is gone, and I'm glad I am with you guys. So let's talk about Thursday night football. Between the Steelers and the Bengals. Great win for the Bengals, 33-31. Joe Joe Flacco had 3 touchdowns, completed 66 completion. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, completed 67.7% percentage in the game. On the receiving side, Jamar Chase had 60 reception, 1 touchdown. On the Steelers side, Pat Fremont had 3 touchdowns and 5 reception. So what am I thought about this game? So that game, it was pretty much like you said. It was the battle of the Unk. I gotta admit that. It was pretty much what we expected. The battle of the Unk. Or we were probably gonna say the battle of the Uncles, I might add. So that was pretty much a back and forth game like I expected. You know, the AFC North divisional rival match. So you expect a lot of things. And my thought is that ever since they got Joe Flacco, and I don't think he had time to prepare, if I'm not mistaken, against the Steelers, because he got traded from the for another divisional rivalry to another what did I say? Divisional rivalry. Okay, Cleveland Brown to the Cincinnati Bengals, Ohio to Ohio. I must say, but it was very interesting that the trade happened, but I wasn't really surprised about that because look at the Cleveland Browns. They are a total mess. They are a total mess in the quarterback situation. I mean, you got Dylan Gabriel starting. Shedeur Sanders pretty much QB2. And I think that, in my personal opinion, that Shedeur will start probably week 13 or 14, something like that. That's my opinion. But get back to the Steelers and the Bengals. I think that was the probably the best game of Jamar Chase since Joe Burrow got injured. And I think it was week 1 he got injured. So, or week 2, I don't remember, but it was pretty much week. I think it was week 2. But I'm so proud of Joe Flacco coming to the rescue in Bengals because he's a veteran. He been there, done that. I, and he's replacing Joe Burrow. For the people who don't know, he probably gonna come back till December, mid December, something like that. So I think that I think that Joe Flacco gonna be a great addition for the roster. So I don't think he will get cut, but that was a great addition. Now on the Steelers side, Aaron Rodgers played a pretty good game, even though he had 2 interceptions. Like I said, um, I think the with the Steelers, we always question about them. Are they a true contender or they're a pretender? Because I always look at the Steelers, like the Steelers offense is pretty if you look on paper, it's pretty good. But when you see them on the field, it's like it's decent. They don't have a run game, which I'm surprised they didn't get a running back, and that the defense, like I said, is very suspect. Like I said, the defense is very suspect, which I'm not surprised. Um, I'm not surprised about that, but the offense is pretty solid. Now, do I think they gonna win the division? I'll probably say yeah. If you look at the AFC North, and I want you guys to look at the AFC North. I know it's early, but look at the AFC North. Uh, Look at the Baltimore Ravens. They're not good. They're 1-5, I think. 1-5. Look at the Cleveland Brown. They're 1-5. Look at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now they're like 2-3, 2-3 victory. And I think the Steelers can run with it if everybody's healthy. Aaron Rodgers healthy, and I think that he can take the Steelers to the playoff and probably win the first game win since 2000. I think it was 2016. Now my issue with the Steelers is the long game. Are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? Probably not. But we always ask ourselves, are they a true contender? I would say in the middle. They're in the middle. They're not in the mix like the Buffalo Bills, or probably would say the Chiefs, the Jaguar, the Colts. The Colts. And probably you have to put the Chiefs in the conversation, yeah. You got to put them in the conversation. Then the Steelers are in the middle. And I think if everybody continue playing like that, I guess they have. I guess they got 2% to make it to the Super Bowl, but realistically, I don't think so. So those are the game. Those are the game that the Bengals and the Steelers Thursday night football. Before we talk about the next topic, I want to talk about baseball real quick for the baseball. The LA Dodgers are going back to the World Series by sweeping the Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee Brewers. Um, I don't know. Let me see the victory. 5-1 victory of the LA Dodgers. The Seattle Mariners are won against the Blue Jays 6-2. Seattle is leading 3-2 in the series, but I believe my Blue Jays is gonna win Game 6. Game 6 is belonging to us. Um, we are winning. We are winning. Game 6 to close out Game 7. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Game 7 is gonna be rather in Toronto or in Seattle. I believe it's gonna be in Toronto. So I said this, and I made a mistake. I thought the Milwaukee Brewers and the Dodgers would probably the steal the match that I wanted to see, but I guess I was wrong. I was wrong. The Seattle Mariners and the Blue Jays are the most entertaining playoff ever seen. College football result. Vanderbilt beat my LSU 31-24. Uh, UMB is leading against Memphis 31-24. 2 minutes left in the game. Arizona State is up 19-7 against Texas Tech in the fourth quarter. 10 minutes earlier. We're in halftime between the Arkansas and Texas A&M. By Texas A&M leading Arkansas by 1 point, 21-20. First quarter, Oregon leading Rutgers 7-3. First quarter, Washington State is leading against Virginia in the first quarter, 7-0. The game has already ended for Georgia versus Mississippi. Great victory for Georgia against Mississippi, 43-35. Indiana beat the Michigan State 38-13. Ohio State beat Wisconsin 34-0. Oklahoma beat South Carolina 26-7. Thank God I didn't watch that game. Thank God. So Friday game everybody did not see. Georgia Tech beat Duke 27-18. Minnesota beat Nebraska 24-6. And Louisville beat Miami 24-21. Up and coming is starting right now. Texas versus Kentucky. Florida Atlantic versus South Florida. Tennessee versus Alabama 7:30 in the afternoon. USC versus Notre Dame at 7:30. At 7:45, Missouri versus Auburn. At 8 o'clock, Cincinnati with Oklahoma State. And Utah versus BYU, a rivalry. A college football rivalry. So those are the score of the college football. In the NHL, live now, the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Blue Jackets are starting. They are playing live now. Same thing with the Stars versus the Blues, the Wild versus the Flyers, the Kraken versus the Maple Leafs at 7 o'clock. Right now, who's watching? Same thing with the Predator and Jet, the Rangers and Canadian, the Bruins and Avalanche. Bruins Avalanche at 9 p.m. Same thing with Hurricane versus the Kings. The Flames versus the Golden Knight at 10 p.m. at night in Europe, and 4 a.m. if you're in Europe. Same thing with the Penguin and Shark at 4 a.m. in the morning in Europe, and 10 p.m. in America. You got the for tomorrow. For Sunday, the Canucks versus the Capitals, and The Oilers versus the Red Wings at 3 in the afternoon over in the United States of Canada, and 9 p.m. in the in the European pre NBA pre no preseason game for today. So the regular season is starting in a couple of days. So let's get right to it with the NBA preview. So let's start in the Eastern Conference and what I'll get from my prediction and what do I expect. So the Eastern Conference of the NBA. Let's start with Atlanta in the East. In the East, what is my thought for the Atlanta Hawks this regular season with the addition of the new piece that Atlanta have with Kristaps Porzingis adding on the list. I think the Atlanta probably gonna steal the probably gonna be making the playoff, probably in the top six. So they cannot waste Trae Young last season of the regular season, because there's been news that the Atlanta Hawks would not extend Trae Young contract, so that's probably going to be his last year, maybe his last season with the Hawks. We don't know, so I expect the Hawks to make it to playoff. Next team, the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have lost a lot of pieces. Drew Holiday now is in Portland. Kristaps Porzingis is in Atlanta. And Jason Tatum is not going to come back in this season. Maybe. But I don't believe he'll come back playing this season. So, what do I expect with the Boston Celtics? But with the piece missing and the injuries, and you had our Simmons. I think they're gonna make the playoff, but I don't think they're true contenders. So, but I think they're gonna be increasing a little bit. That's my opinion. Charlotte Hornets. They are probably one of the weirdest team, in my opinion, when it comes to in this regular season, because it's like they've like really feel like they're always in the rebuild. But I don't know if they're gonna make the playoff. I think they're in the same boat with Brooklyn and Washington, which I will get the Brooklyn later. They're probably gonna be my little dark horse, because I don't know what you could get with LaMelo Ball, because he's always been injured so much, and they don't have any bigs, so that's not surprising at all. But I think that the Charlotte Hornet probably gonna be my dark team. Now Brooklyn Nets, they are in a rebuild. Added Michael Porter Jr., have a couple of draft pick, extended Cam Thomas contract. I think it was for a 2-year contract, between 2 year and 1 year. But they're in a rebuild, so that's how I can feel about that. The next team I will talk about, it is the what do you call it? It is the Detroit Pistons. Detroit last season they made the playoff, even though they eliminated by the New York Knicks. What do I expect for Detroit? Detroit, to me, they're gonna progress from last season. I think they're gonna elevate themselves with Kate Cunningham now, like made it his All-Star, made his first playoff. I think that playoff loss against the Knicks is a valuable lesson for them, even though they're young. So I don't really much expect anything, but they are gonna progress and go up. They'll be not a surprise team. They're gonna be the team already progressing. It's just regular season. Next team I will talk about, it is the Indiana Pacers. Losing Tyrese Halliburton for the rest of the season, and he's not coming back playing this season. Losing Miles Turner is going to hurt them. But I think they're gonna be increasing, probably battling for the playing tournament. So that's probably be a shame, because without Tyrese Halliburton, the Indiana Pacers are just a good team. But with Tyrese Halliburton, they're probably going to be a playoff contender, in my opinion. So I think they're going to increase. The Cleveland Cavaliers. What do I expect for them? They should make the conference finals. They should make the conference finals this season with the roster that they have. They're losing against the last season against the Pacers. It hurt them because they were all injured. But I hope the Cavaliers get healthy in the playoffs. The first one around the playoffs, no issue. The second one is going to be really, really tested. Because if Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland do not make the conference finals, there'll be question about is Donovan Mitchell, you can win a championship with Donovan Mitchell. So that's probably going to be a great question. But the Cleveland Cavaliers should make the conference final or make it to the finals. The Milwaukee Bucks. You guys, you know how I feel about that. Giannis, there's been rumors that Giannis want to be traded, and one probably going to be his final season against the Milwaukee. We don't know his situation. Adding Miles Turner is pretty a plus up. Losing Damian Lillard, that was a bummer, but it didn't really work out like we all expected. But if it is Giannis' last season with Milwaukee, I think he needs to get the hell out and looking for other teams, because there's been rumors. I don't know if it is true. If there's been rumors that he wants to play with the New York Knicks, so probably it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Moving on from the Milwaukee, the Chicago Bulls. They are in the same boat. With not the same boat, but they're like a weird team. Like I said, I mean, you don't have Zach LaVine. because he's not playing with the Bulls. You just extended Josh Giddey, and what now? I mean, they probably going to be in a rebuild team also too. So but I think they're going to make the play in. That's what they do. The Chicago Bulls can be a sneaky team. The Bulls, they are a sneaky team. They are a sneaky team, in my opinion. I mean, that's who they are, man. The Bulls will not give up. So, but I think they're going to be increased with losing a couple of pieces. I think they're going to increase. Now, the next team, the Miami Heat. Also, they are a weird team. Miami. I don't know. With Miami. I feel like we always count them out, but we know that that the Miami Heat gonna make the playoff. But I don't know. You add a Norman Powell. I don't think you traded Andrew Wiggins, so I'm glad Andrew Wiggins stayed. But I think they're gonna increase by being the playing. So they're probably gonna be in the playing team, in my opinion. Next team, the Orlando Magic. I will tell you what, I think the Orlando Magic can probably be the most surprise team. Surprise team in the East. And I loosely say that because now Orlando had a lot of pieces. And you just signed Desmond Bain from the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they could probably be a sneaky team to make it in the top 6 in the playoffs. So I think they're going to make the playoffs. And I'll probably move out, go to the second round, in my opinion. The New York Knicks. To me, that's their last chance. Last year they made it to the Eastern Conference Final, and now their goal is to make it to the finals. Because if you do not make the finals, there will be some change in the roster. So that's their last chance. The New York Knicks to make it to make it to the finals. So, even though I'm not a Knicks fan, but whatever. The Nets should make the final, but I don't know. But the Nets, that's their goal. The Nets should make to the finals. Moving on to another team, the 76ers. Philly, they're a weird team. It will, and I say this, it will depend on the Joel Embiid health. If Joel Embiid is healthy, sorry. If Joel Embiid is healthy, Paul George is healthy, I think this team could make a run in the playoff. But now I don't believe this team. So they're a weird team. So I don't know. It would depend on Paul George and Joel Embiid health. That's my opinion on that. The Toronto Raptors, my Raptors, people, my squad. I think they're a dark horse to make it to the playoff. They're a dark horse because let me tell you why I said, and they are dark horse. And please, people, do not comment on my YouTube channel. Oh, you just say they're dark horse because that's their squad. No. I said this, they are dark horse because the pieces, now they're young. The Eastern Conference, a lot of those teams are injured. look like the Milwaukee, the Boston Celtics, the Indiana Pacers. Milwaukee, we don't know we don't know what we get with Giannis and the rest of the team. So I think they can. I think the Raptors can sneak in as a dark horse. So, and also I want to see the Brandon Ingram and the Brandon Ingram chemistry with the Raptors, because last season he did not play. He got traded in Toronto. So I don't know what we would get with him with the Raptors. And let's see what's going to happen, because preseason don't mean anything. So it's going to be very interesting with the Brandon Ingram chemistry with Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickley, R.J. Barrett, and the rest of the crew. And finally, the Washington Wizards are in a rebuild. The Wizards are in a rebuild, nothing to expect, so they're in a rebuild. Before I am talking the Western Conference preview, I want to be updating right now the score each team right now. Texas and Kentucky just started to play 0-0. Alabama and Tennessee are going to play in 1 minute. Same thing with USC and Notre Dame. Who else? Update. Well, the Memphis versus UAB, Memphis got the ball. They're undefeated. If they lose, that's going to be the first loss. Arizona State with Texas Tech. Texas Tech got the ball. We're at halftime between Texas A&M and Arkansas. End of the first quarter within Oregon and Rutgers. Tie game between the Washington State and Virginia. And that's it. For now. That's it for now. In the football rant, in the NHL, the Seattle Kraken has scored the first goal against the Maple Leafs. Same thing with the Blue Jackets, scored against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Same thing with the Jet against the Predator, 1-0 each team. The Montreal Canadiens 2-0 scored 2 goals against the Rangers. And the rest of the team starts with the Blue 0-0, Wild and Flyers 0-0. Now let's talk about the Western Conference team. So that's probably going to be easy. So in the Western Conference, because this is going to be a wild west this regular season. So start with OKC. They everything the piece they had, and they just won a chip. I think they're probably going back to the finals, because SGA is elevated his game. So, and Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, they're still hungry. They're still young, and they still got a lot of draft picks. So that's probably going to be scary. So I think the OKC can make to the finals. Next team, the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets had KD. Fred VanVleet is injured and is out for out of the rest of the season. It's probably going to be interesting who's going to be the point guard. I heard that was Amir Thompson is going to be in the point guard. I don't know. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It's interesting to see with the Rockets. But they're making the playoffs. That's probably easy. The LA Lakers. They just added DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart. They just signed Luka on extension. And we all know that Luka is the future for this franchise of the Lakers. LeBron is taking the second option, in my opinion. And my question is, for the Lakers and for LeBron James, if it is LeBron James' last season, do you think LeBron retired or LeBron still playing? I just want to hear it from the comment because this is my opinion. If he decide to come back, the Lakers will not resign him. He's gonna find another team to play. If LeBron retired and say that's my last season, and I think it's gonna be probably, this is my opinion, it's probably gonna be his last season. So I don't know what LeBron's mind's decision's gonna make. So let's see how the Lakers are gonna do this regular season. Now, do I think they're contenders? No, they're pretenders acting as they're contenders. So I think they're pretenders. That's for the Lakers. Next team, the Denver Nuggets. Adding Bruce Brown, have Cam Johnson, traded for Michael Porter Jr. I think Denver will be a scary team, in my opinion. Denver Broncos were going to be a scary team, and they're a contender. Jamal Murray needs to step up to become an all-star that he should be. So Jokic going to be Jokic. The rest is going to be very interesting. So Denver probably going to win playoff. The Clippers, with all the veteran team like Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, and the rest of the other team, it's going to be interesting for the Clippers. Because with this quiet Atlanta scandal and bunch of veteran on the team, I don't know if they're going to win a championship, but I think they're a contender, in my opinion. And also, this is going to be Chris Paul last season. At least we know that Chris Paul is going to play his last season with the LA Clippers. So probably going to be a contender. Now, Minnesota Timberwolves, they made it last year in the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be very interesting how Anthony Edwards is going to handle this game. And Mike Conley, he's a veteran, and you have this young point guard, Dillingham. I forgot his name, but I forgot his name. Excuse me. Rod Dillingham. Ron Dillingham. Young Dillingham. Who was last year, 2 years ago, drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves. You need to develop him to be the future point guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves and play with Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Julius Randle, who got traded for Karl Anthony Towns, and that like I said, that 1 year, I think both team won, and both team made the conference final, so both team win in this game. So that was a great thing. Golden State Warriors. I think what would happen with Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler, especially Steph Curry, do you think it's going to be his last with the Golden State Warriors? Because we've come into an end of an era with the Golden State Warriors. So we don't know. What the roster going to be like with Al Horford on the team. You guys extended 2 years with Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know how I don't know if Jonathan Kaminga fits with this team. I don't know. So let's see what Steve Kerr gonna do. So probably they're gonna make the playoff, or maybe the play, but I think they're gonna make the playoff. Next team, the Memphis Grizzlies. Oh boy, I don't know what to expect with this team because you lost Desmond Bain. John Moran, he was injured. Jared Jack, he also was probably injury prone. But I don't I don't know what I think they're probably gonna miss the playoffs in my opinion. Because you lost a lot of pieces and I don't know. I think probably they're gonna miss. Sacramento King, they're in the middle of nowhere. You just signed Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, DeMar DeRozan is still there. I don't know. They're lost. I think they're the most confusing team. They're not making the playoffs, in my opinion. But I'm not surprised they're gonna make the play-in. That's what I'm saying. Dallas Maverick. This is gonna be amazing. You drafted Cooper Flag. Kyrie is not gonna come back. Probably, not this season. You had AD from adding AD and Klay Thompson. I think that they're making the playoff. Do I think they make it the finals? No, but I think they make it the playoff. So I'm going to be very interested to see Cooper Flag, in my opinion. Phoenix Sun, I say they missed the playoff. You just lost KD and Bradley Beal. I just forgot to say Bradley Beal for the LA Clippers. But you lost Bradley Beal. You just added Jalen Green from a trade with Kevin Durant and Dylan Brooke too, by the way, too. So it's gonna be very interesting with Phoenix Sun. That's also the team I wanted to see. The Phoenix Sun. Now you got trade Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. Next team, Portland Trailblazer. They're gonna make the play-in. I think Scoot Anderson needs to elevate his game. You just drafted the Chinese player. I forgot his name. I believe his name. No, it's the Chinese. Yang Hansen. Yang Hansen from China. It's probably going to be interesting. You just added Damian Lillard back in Portland, so he's not going to play. Also, he's right injured. He's not going to play the whole season, in my opinion. But they're going to make the play-in. Same thing with the Spurs. Now Wemby is healthy. Wemby is healthy. You got a young rookie Dylan Harper, yes, the rookie Dylan Harper. They're making the play. I think they're gonna make the play-in. And if every players are healthy, I think they make it the playoff. The De'Aaron Fox and Wemby will be very interesting into me because there's been things said about that they can fit, they're not fit, this and that. But it's gonna be very interesting for this. I wanted to see it. New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know. It's a weird team. The New Orleans Pelicans, it depends on Zion health. If he's not healthy, the Pelicans not make it. I don't think they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna make the playoff. I think they're probably gonna sneak in the play-in, but let's see what's the Pelicans this regular season. You just added Jordan Poole. DeJounte Murray, he's also injured too. He's out for a whole year. So So it's going to be interesting. Utah Jazz are doing a rebuild. You just had Ace Bailey, and probably you're not going to extend Lauren Marketing and Wesley Kessler, but they're in a rebuild team. So I got nothing to say about the Utah Jazz. Those are the NBA prediction for the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. Leave your comment on my video. Which team are you excited or not excited on my YouTube channel to go to be true podcast. And now on, let's maybe I should watch the update, but I don't think so. But let's move on from you know what? Let's we're updating in hockey. The Rangers just scored against the Montreal Canadiens 2-1. They're down 1-2 against the Montreal Canadiens. The Jet are up 2-0 against the Predators. USC and Notre Dame already started. Texas and Kentucky already started. So if you missed the game, go watch it. So Arizona State up by 4 against the Texas Tech, 26-22. Texas A&M are up by 8, 28 and 20 against Arkansas. We just recently saw a touchdown against the Rutgers. Oregon are up 28-3. South Florida is up against Florida Atlantic 7-0. Tennessee, Alabama already started. Now on our final topic, let's talk about the NFL prediction. That will be very quick, in my opinion, and I don't want no explanation. So, the previous game, the LA Rams versus the Jacksonville Jaguar. I got the Jaguar winning it against the LA Rams. New Orleans versus the Chicago Bears. I got my New Orleans probably winning it against the Chicago Bears. So I hope that my Saints win this against the Bears. Miami versus Cleveland. I got Miami winning it. I think Miami winning it against the Cleveland Brown. Las Vegas versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be very difficult because my head said the Raiders, but my heart said the Chiefs. So I'm going with my heart. I got Chiefs beating the Raiders on this one, and Raider Week by the way too, and also not just Raider Week, but also the AFC West divisional rival match. So the AFC West divisional rivalry. Philly versus Minnesota. I got Philly winning against the Vikings. Carolina versus New York Jets. I think in my best humble opinion, the Jets will win against the Carolina Panthers because I want to see them win. And they're always gonna be over against the Carolina Panthers. Even though they won against the Cowboys, but I think in my heart, I think the Jets going to win this. As a shocker. New England Patriots with the Tennessee Titans. Mike Vrabel is coming back against his older team that he coached. I got Patriots winning against the Tennessee Titans. New York Giants with the Denver Broncos. I got the Broncos winning it. In the Indiana Colts with the LA Chargers. I got the Colts winning it against the Chargers. Green Bay Packers with the Arizona Cardinals. Green Bay Packers wins this game. The NFC East Washington Commander with the Dallas Cowboys. I got the Commander winning it against Dallas Cowboys. Sunday Night Football. Atlanta Falcons versus the San Francisco 49ers. I got my surprise team. I got ATL winning against the 49ers. And they are also a dark horse to make it the playoffs in the NFC. Like I said, the Atlanta, the Falcons, who else I said? Seattle. They are my dark horse team, in my opinion. And also Carolina Panthers. They are my dark horse team to make it the playoffs, too. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the Detroit Lions. I got Detroit winning it against Tampa Bay on Monday Night Football. And lastly, the Texans versus the Seattle. I got Houston winning it against the Seahawks. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. Make sure to follow me on social media. Follow me on Instagram, Pascal_Mayada_15. And also on Threads, same thing, Pascal_Mayada_15. Facebook, Pascal Mayada. X, formerly Twitter, go at Bally versus PMM. I will put put everything in the note on the comment, not a comment, but on the description of the video. Make sure to follow me and listen to this podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you want to listen to it, you can listen to it on my YouTube channel too. Go to the True Podcast. Like, subscribe, notify, leave your comment on the video. And leave the comment on the community that I will post for news such as sport, culture, sneaker. That being said, thank you very much. And I'll see you next time.